What's up, guys? I'm gonna try to keep this intro as short as I possibly can because there is actually 2 parts into this video, so it is kind of a longer video. But a lot of you guys have been asking me how I hit all my shots with the combat AR and how I use it and control the recoil so well. So I decided to do a little explanation and show you guys how to exactly use the combat AR, which is what the first part of this video is about. And after that is the second part, and it's a gameplay as always. And I also want to let you guys know that this is pretty much my first time doing an informational video or educational video, whatever you want to call it. So I hope I did a good job with that. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought. If this video did help you and you did enjoy, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and like the video. And as always, if you guys want to support me, make sure you guys use supporter creator code Zemie in your Fortnite item shop. I hope you guys enjoy. But right now I'm in a battle lap because the combat AR is actually not in creative. Maybe I wasn't looking right, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't in creative. I couldn't find it. I'm gonna pretty much show you guys how to use the new combat AR because a lot of you guys have been asking me. So right now I have both the combat AR and the regular AR in my inventory, and I'm gonna show you guys the difference. So pretty much up until the combat AR, every single assault rifle in the game has had bloom but no recoil. And what I mean by that is when I shoot my AR, this is the regular AR by the way, I'm not moving my mouse at all, and you can see that my gun is barely going up. It means I can just not move my mouse at all, and pretty much my bullets are gonna go straight the whole time. But there is bloom, which means even though your crosshair might be on the opponent, your shots may not be hitting. Here's where the combat assault rifle gets different. Combat AR is pretty much the opposite of that. There is recoil on the gun, but there is no bloom. I'm gonna shoot right now, and I'm not gonna move my mouse at all, and see what happens. You see that? You see how my gun started shooting up when I started spraying it? And this is the AR. The AR doesn't do that. Now I'm actually going to try it on an opponent, and you guys will see the difference between bloom and recoil. Okay, so you guys saw right there, I did not move my mouse at all. I pretty much just shot, aimed at him, and I killed him right away. Now he was standing still, so it wasn't really hard killing him, and the bloom didn't really show that much. But now let's try the regular AR when he's running. Okay. So did you guys see right there? Even though I was like aiming at him pretty much the whole time, some shots were missing. And that's exactly what bloom is. That's pretty much all I had to worry about. I didn't have to worry about any recoil or really controlling my gun. Pretty much just had to make sure my bullets are hitting. And you know, with bloom, you can't really make sure 100% of the time. So now I'm going to use the combat AR. And you guys remember earlier when we shot it, the gun goes straight up as you're spraying it. And I'm going to pretty much try to shoot it the same way as I did with the AR. And you guys are going to see immediately that this isn't going to work out. You see, I can't do that. So this is how the combat AR is different. It all comes down to recoil control. So now the way to properly use the combat AR, you have to make sure you pull down your crosshair as you're spraying your opponent. I'm going to go ahead and try my best to pull down so I make sure all of my shots hit my opponent. You guys saw that right there? So that right there, not only was I aiming at my opponent, I was also pulling down my crosshair and my aim as I was shooting. Now we're going to try to hit our opponent while he's running. This is going to be a lot harder because not only he's going to be moving, I'm going to have to at the same time be aiming at him and control my recoil. Okay, so as you guys saw right there, when I was using my AR and he was running, I pretty much just had to track him, right? But when I was using the combat AR and he was running, I had to track him and I had to also pull down my aim and try to track him at the same time. Now, obviously, that's a lot harder, but in my opinion, that's why the combat AR is the best AR in the game right now. It doesn't have any bloom, which means if you can aim right and if you know how to control the recoil, you'll get rewarded for actually having good aim. So now I'm going to show you guys the trick on how you can control and figure out the recoil of the combat AR so you can aim with it better and hit your shots better. Now I'm just going to spray my combat AR. I'm not going to try to control the recoil. I just want to show you guys exactly the pattern and the recoil of the combat AR. Okay, so that was one entire clip of shooting and spraying the combat AR. As you guys saw, after about 10 to 15 bullets, the gun kind of stopped going up and it was just kind of staying around this area here. Here's when it gets a little bit tricky. When you try to control the recoil and you pull down as you're spraying, that doesn't really apply anymore, which means when you're actually trying to control the recoil and you pull down until the very last bullet, it still is kicking up. So you will feel that resistance and you kind of have to just keep pulling down. But keep in mind, it's not exactly the same intensity of recoil the whole time. time as you're spraying. You'll kind of get the hang of it as you practice this yourself. You guys will notice that after about 10 to 15 bullets, if you're controlling the recoil is kind of not hard. And then after about 5 or 10 bullets, it kind of starts kicking really hard again. Now I'm going to spray the combat AR and I'm going to try to control the recoil as much as I can and try to keep it a straight aim. Okay, so right there, pretty much up until that very last bullet, I was continuously moving my mouse downwards. Everything I just kind of mentioned about the recoil and the pull down and everything, it will make more sense once you try it yourself. But pretty much to hit your shots with the combat AR, you need to be pulling down as you're spraying. And the more you guys use it, the more you figure out exactly how much you need to pull down, when you need to be exactly pulling down more, when you need to be pulling down a little bit less. The distance between you and your opponent also does really matter with this gun, because the further your opponent is, the harder it is to control the recoil and actually hit your opponent. And the main reason for that is because your opponent is actually a much smaller target the further they get. So the slightest movement with your aim does actually make you miss shots, especially because the combat AR doesn't have any bloom. Now, with that being said, if your opponent is not only far from you, but they're also moving at the same time, let's just say they launch padded really far and you're trying to beam them out of the air, then that's obviously a lot harder, because not only they're moving and they're really far, you have to control your recoil and try to hit your shots. As you guys saw, I did miss quite a bit of shots there because he was not only far, but he was also jumping up and down. He was moving. And if you guys have played any other games like Counter-Strike before, or even Call of Duty, I think they do have recoil on a lot of their guns, then you're already familiar with recoil control on guns and guns having recoil. Like I said, it is actually very easy to use the combat AR once you figure out how to exactly control the recoil. And as you guys saw in this video, the main thing is pretty much just pulling down as you're spraying. I've also seen a lot of people pick up the combat AR, but instead of spraying, they kind of just tap shot like this. And that does work in some cases, but in my opinion, if you're gonna just tap shot, just pick up a regular AR or another kind of AR, because then you don't have to worry about your gun kicking up or any kind of recoil. And honestly, if you're tap shotting with the combat AR, then you're not really making the best use of it. This gun is a lot better if you know how to control the recoil, spray your enemy. You're gonna laser people like you guys see me do all the time. This was my very first time making an educational or informational video, whatever you want to call it, but I hope I did a good job explaining and showing the combat AR and how it's exactly different from other guns. Let me know if this explanation did help you guys at all, and let me know if I should do more videos like this where I'm explaining things. And now, as always, I have a gameplay for you guys to watch with the combat AR, of course. I hope you guys enjoy that. I had to land and contest that guy, bro. Where's this guy? Where do you go? Scar, I know, I'm not gonna pick up the Scar, chat, because combat AR is better, man. You know me, chat. We only pick up the combat AR, chat. Come on now. Combat AR only. I don't care if it was a gold Scar. What the heck is going on over there? Oh, he's there. Gold. Where does this guy go? What the? Oh my god. This kid was hiding here. I was just saying, where did this guy go? I want a broom. I see someone far over there. All right, we're going for him. I don't care. I'm going over there. Is he in the building? Okay, there he is. Bro, for real. Where the heck is everybody? Like, not only I don't see anybody, I don't even hear anyone. I don't hear any shots. I don't hear any fights. I didn't mean to shoot. Okay, we got a bogey right here. $26, lovely. GG's. GG's, mate. Okay, well, you're not in the zone, bro. It's probably gonna shockwave, right? The heck did this man just hit me with? Got a gold one. If I could just pick it up. Just like picking up everything else but that. And I dropped my shields. They're both just up there. Not a bad game. Going somewhere, brother? Is there a half foot anywhere? Let's go. The dirty angles. Hit him with the angles he doesn't even see coming. GG's.